Hi, this is Dr. Sophia Jain, and if you're a man over 60 or if you care about one, then listen closely. Because today, we're going to break down the foods that can help restore blood flow, rebuild your energy, and reignite your erections naturally. I'm not talking about fads, pills, or miracle cures. I'm talking about real, research-backed nutrition that works with your body, not against it. This isn't about chasing your youth. It's about claiming the strength, vitality, and confidence that age doesn't have to take away. Let's get one thing straight. Erections are about blood flow. That's the beginning, middle, and end of it. Yes, hormones like testosterone matter. Yes, stress and sleep play a role. But at the core of every strong erection is healthy circulation. If blood can't get to the right place, nothing else really matters. And here's the good news, you can absolutely improve your circulation, starting with what you eat. I want to start with one of the most powerful and underrated foods out there, arugula. This leafy green might not look like much, but it's packed with natural nitrates. When you eat arugula, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, a gas that opens up your blood vessels, reduces pressure, and helps blood flow smoothly where it needs to go. It's like nature's version of what those little blue pills try to do, only safer and more sustainable. I once worked with a 68-year-old gentleman named Peter. He was healthy by most standards, normal weight, didn't smoke, stayed fairly active, but his performance had been declining. His doctor had suggested medication, but he wanted to try a natural route first. So we added arugula into his meals 3 to 4 times a week. Nothing extreme. Just a handful tossed into a salad or blended into a morning smoothie. Within 6 weeks, his morning erections came back, his energy was up, and he felt more like himself. He told me, I didn't realize how flat I'd been feeling until I got that spark back. That's the kind of change we're talking about here. Now, arugula is a great starting point. But it's just that, a start. To really restore male performance after 60, we need to layer in foods that build hormones, support blood vessels, and fuel your body at the cellular level. And that brings us to the next food on our list, grass-fed beef. This isn't about eating a big steak every night. It's about quality over quantity. Grass-fed beef is rich in vitamin B12, zinc, iron, and high-quality protein. These are nutrients that directly support testosterone production and vascular health. Zinc especially is crucial, not just for libido, but for the creation of testosterone itself. When your body's low in zinc, your hormone levels can drop, your drive can fade, and your recovery can slow down. I had one client in his early 70s, recently retired, who started experiencing what he called dead zone days. No energy, no motivation, and definitely no intimacy. We tested his blood, low zinc, borderline anemia, and mild inflammation. We cleaned up his diet and added in small servings of grass-fed beef twice a week, plus leafy greens and olive oil. Nothing fancy, just real food. In less than 2 months, he was jogging again, reporting spontaneous erections, and even told me he and his wife had started taking weekend trips again. For the first time in years, he said with a smile, "That's what I want for you too." Next up, beets. Yes, the humble, often overlooked beet. It might stain your fingers, but it could also supercharge your circulation. Beets, like arugula, are loaded with dietary nitrates. But they also contain compounds that protect the blood vessel lining and reduce oxidative stress. That's important because, as we age, our vessels become stiffer and narrower. That's a recipe for weak blood flow and weak performance. Try drinking beet juice a few times a week or roasting sliced beets as a side dish. I've seen men over 60 go from sluggish to sharp just from this one addition. One man told me, "It's like I'm finally getting oxygen to my brain and blood to the right places again." His words, not mine. And don't forget about dark chocolate. Yes, you heard that right. The key is choosing the kind that's at least 70% cacao. Dark chocolate is rich in flavonoids, which support the production of nitric oxide and improve arterial flexibility. Just a square or 2 a few times a week can be enough to make a real difference. One more food I want to bring into this first part of our discussion is garlic. It's been used for centuries, and modern science now confirms what traditional cultures have known all along. Garlic helps lower blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, and increase nitric oxide levels. It also contains allicin, a compound that improves blood flow and even boosts stamina. Now, you're probably thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually do this in real life? You don't need a chef or a personal nutritionist. All it takes is some intentionality. Swap out iceberg lettuce for arugula. Add garlic to your cooking a few nights a week. Choose grass-fed beef over processed meats. Roast some beets instead of frying potatoes. It's these small, consistent shifts that compound into major results. And while we're on the subject of consistency, let me tell you, real change doesn't happen overnight. It builds, week by week, bite by bite, meal by meal. The men I see who transform their health aren't the ones who try to overhaul everything at once. They're the ones who say, let me start here, let me build from this. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be committed. Now let's talk about one food that often gets overlooked, but plays a huge role in restoring erections and energy after 60, pomegranates. These deep red fruits are packed with polyphenol and antioxidants that improve blood vessel health and reduce inflammation. But here's the kicker, pomegranate juice has actually been shown in some studies to improve erectile function in men with mild to moderate ED. Why? Because it protects nitric oxide and fights oxidative stress at the same time. That's a powerful 1-2 punch. I remember one gentleman, about 74, who came to me frustrated. He had tried different pills, different routines, even different partners, but nothing felt the same. We added a daily glass of unsweetened pomegranate juice to his breakfast. That's it. After 5 weeks, he told me, I didn't realize how much I'd given up until I got some of it back. His energy, his focus, and yes, his erections had all improved. One change, one habit, real results. And speaking of simple habits, let's bring in omega-3 fatty acids, especially from wild-caught salmon, sardines, or walnuts. Omega-3s reduce inflammation and keep blood vessels smooth and elastic. That helps the heart, the brain, and below the belt. When your vessels are flexible and clear, blood can move the way it's supposed to. Think of omega-3s as internal lubricant for your circulatory system. Now, if fish isn't your thing, that's okay. Flax seeds and chia seeds also provide plant-based omega-3s. But if you can work in salmon once or twice a week, baked, grilled, or even canned, you'll be doing yourself a favor. Your arteries, your heart, and your performance will all benefit. Another one that surprises people, watermelon. You think of it as a summertime snack, but watermelon contains something called citrulline, which converts into arginine and then into nitric oxide. Are you seeing the pattern here? So many of the foods we're talking about help your body naturally increase nitric oxide production. That's the secret weapon for stronger, healthier erections, especially after 60. Try this. Slice up some watermelon in the afternoon instead of reaching for crackers or cookies. It hydrates, it cools you down, and it supports circulation at the same time. That's a win. Let's talk about nuts, particularly pistachios, walnuts, and Brazil nuts. Pistachios have been shown to improve erectile function in clinical studies thanks to their arginine content, which boosts nitric oxide. Walnuts support overall vascular health, and Brazil nuts are your go-to for selenium, which supports testosterone and thyroid function. That hormonal support matters. After 60, your body doesn't produce hormones like it used to, but giving it the right nutrients can keep things humming. I had a patient once. He was 63, divorced, and re-entering the dating world. He was anxious, not just emotionally, but physically. He said, I just don't know if I can keep up anymore. We worked on his sleep, his stress, and yes, his food. We added pistachios and Brazil nuts to his daily routine. Within a month, his confidence started creeping back. He said, it's not about being 25 again. It's about feeling like a man again. That stuck with me. Now I want to mention avocados. They're rich in healthy fats, magnesium, and potassium. All three of those are critical for blood pressure control and testosterone function. And low magnesium? That's something I see constantly in men over 60. It causes fatigue, poor sleep, and low libido. So if you're not already eating avocados, start. Spread them on toast, dice them into salads, or just eat half with a spoon and a little salt. It's one of the most efficient, man-friendly foods you can put on your plate. Let's talk about spices for a minute. Specifically, cayenne pepper and turmeric. Cayenne contains capsaicin, which increases blood flow and stimulates nerve endings. Turmeric contains curcumin, which reduces inflammation throughout the body and protects your blood vessels. If you're dealing with stiffness, aches, or slower recovery, inflammation could be the silent enemy. Turmeric helps fight that. Try it in tea, or stir it into cooked vegetables with a dash of black pepper to improve absorption. Cayenne, on the other hand, can be added to soups, sauces, even scrambled eggs. A little bit goes a long way. And while we're on the subject of spices, let me just say, men over 60 who cook with bold, natural flavors tend to eat better, stay leaner, and feel more in charge of their health. There's something empowering about taking control of your meals, and your performance often follows. Now let's not forget about bananas. Simple, sweet, but incredibly useful. Bananas are rich in potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure. High blood pressure is a major reason many older men struggle with erections because it damages blood vessels and restricts blood flow. By keeping potassium levels up, you're helping your heart and your sex life at the same time. And what do bananas pair well with? Peanut butter, another fantastic food. Good peanut butter, without added sugar or hydrogenated oils, provides protein, healthy fats, and vitamin E. Together with bananas, it's a powerful combo that fuels your body and keeps you satisfied. Let's pause for a second. I want you to see the bigger picture here. None of these foods are magic by themselves. But when you stack them, when you build your meals from these options, your body starts to respond. Your energy improves, your blood pressure drops, your hormone levels stabilize, and your circulation improves. That's the roadmap back to better performance. Not pills, not patches, real food. And I know some of you might be thinking, Dr. Jain, I've tried eating healthy before and nothing changed. I hear that all the time. But here's the thing, most diets fail because they're built around restriction. What I'm giving you isn't restriction, it's empowerment. It's fuel. You're not starving yourself. You're feeding the man you want to become again. It's not just about what to avoid. It's about what to add. Now, one of the most underrated foods for restoring blood flow and performance is something you probably walk past every week at the store: beets. Beets are loaded with nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. And again, nitric oxide is the compound that tells your blood vessels to relax and expand, allowing blood to flow freely. That means better circulation everywhere, including the places where it matters most. Some men I work with drink a small glass of beet juice before intimacy or even a workout, and they report better energy, better stamina, and better confidence. If you don't like beet juice, you can roast beets, add them to a salad, or even blend them into a smoothie with berries and a splash of lemon. Beets also help lower blood pressure, which is another massive win if you're over 60 and trying to improve your cardiovascular health. Remember, if blood can't move properly, performance will always suffer. Let's talk about dark chocolate. Yes, you heard that right. High-quality dark chocolate, especially 70% cacao or higher, contains flavonoids that support heart health and circulation. It also has magnesium, which helps your nerves relax and improves your body's stress response. But here's the trick: you have to choose real dark chocolate, not the kind filled with sugar or dairy. Just 1 or 2 small squares a few times a week is enough. And for some men, that little indulgence not only supports blood flow, but also gives a nice psychological boost too. Another food group we can't ignore is cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. These veggies help your liver metabolize excess estrogen. That's a big deal because as men age, testosterone often drops while estrogen creeps up. This imbalance can cause lower libido, poor mood, and weight gain, especially around the belly. Supporting your liver with these vegetables helps your body rebalance those hormones naturally, without meds. One man I worked with, a retired firefighter, started eating broccoli almost every night with dinner. He joked that he was turning into a rabbit. But a few weeks in, he told me he was waking up with more energy, his belly was shrinking, and his morning erections had returned. He said, I didn't even realize how flat I'd been until things started working again. It's incredible what the right foods can do. Now let's talk berries, especially blueberries and strawberries. These fruits are loaded with antioxidants, and they improve blood vessel function. In fact, one long-term study found that men who ate berries regularly had a significantly lower risk of erectile dysfunction. Plus, they're low in sugar and high in fiber, which helps regulate blood sugar and reduce insulin resistance, a major factor in metabolic health and performance. Add a handful to your morning oatmeal, mix them into plain yogurt, or snack on them frozen. And while we're here, let's talk about plain Greek yogurt. It's rich in protein, contains probiotics for gut health, and has zinc, which is critical for testosterone production. Just make sure it's not loaded with added sugars or artificial flavors. Stick with plain and add your own fruit or spices like cinnamon. Speaking of zinc, another zinc-rich food that's incredibly helpful for men over 60 is shellfish, especially oysters, clams, and mussels. Oysters in particular have long been considered an aphrodisiac, and for good reason. They're packed with zinc, which plays a direct role in testosterone synthesis and sperm production. Even just 1 or 2 servings a week can make a noticeable difference. If you're not a fan of shellfish, pumpkin seeds are a good plant-based alternative. Now let's shift gears and talk about hydration. Yes, plain water. It's not glamorous, but it's essential. Dehydration thickens the blood and reduces circulation. That's not what you want when you're trying to restore performance. Aim for half your body weight in ounces of water every day. And if you're drinking coffee or alcohol, increase that even more. A quick tip: start your morning with a tall glass of water with a pinch of sea salt and a squeeze of lemon. That helps replenish your electrolytes and supports adrenal health, which is tied to hormone production and energy. Let's not forget onions and garlic. These two are more than just flavor boosters. They actually help improve blood flow and circulation by increasing nitric oxide and reducing plaque buildup in arteries. Raw garlic, in particular, has been shown to support testosterone and lower blood pressure. Try adding minced garlic to salad dressings or roast whole cloves with your vegetables. Onions can be sautéed, caramelized, or added to soups and stir-fries. Simple additions that yield serious results. Now here's one more food that really deserves attention: extra virgin olive oil. This oil is rich in healthy fats and antioxidants, and it's been associated with higher testosterone levels and improved endothelial function. Use it for cooking, drizzle it over vegetables, or mix it into salad dressings. Just make sure it's cold-pressed and stored in a dark glass bottle, because heat and light can degrade its nutrients. And here's a pro tip I give my patients: combine olive oil with garlic and a splash of lemon juice for a simple, powerful topping you can pour over cooked vegetables, grilled chicken, or even eggs. That combo supports your heart, your hormones, and your circulation all at once. Now let's talk about the daily approach. How do you actually make this work? Because knowing what foods help is one thing, but turning that into a habit, that's where real change happens. So here's what I recommend, and this is exactly what I guide my patients to do. Start your day with hydration, like we talked about. Water with lemon and a pinch of sea salt. Then for breakfast, aim for something like oatmeal topped with blueberries, walnuts, chia seeds, and a scoop of plain Greek yogurt. You just supported your heart, your hormones, your blood sugar, and your gut all in one bowl. Mid-morning? Maybe a hard-boiled egg and a small piece of dark chocolate. Lunch could be a salad loaded with leafy greens, roasted beets, avocado slices, pumpkin seeds, and grilled salmon or chicken. Drizzle olive oil and lemon juice on top, and you've got a powerhouse meal for circulation and testosterone. Dinner? Keep it light but powerful. A stir-fry with broccoli, onions, garlic, and lean beef or tofu, sautéed in olive oil, may be served with quinoa or sweet potatoes. And don't forget to add herbs like turmeric or oregano for anti-inflammatory support. If you want dessert, frozen berries or a sliced banana with cinnamon will hit the spot without messing with your blood sugar. This way of eating isn't restrictive. It's satisfying. You're not starving. You're fueling your body with what it's asking for. And once you give it that consistently, it responds physically, mentally, emotionally. Now, something else that's important: mindset. Many men over 60 silently accept a decline in their performance as just a part of aging. But that mindset is dangerous. Because when you believe there's nothing you can do, you stop trying. You stop seeking answers. You settle for less. And the truth is, the body is incredibly adaptable, even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. I've seen men who were on multiple medications, dealing with low energy, zero drive, and no confidence, who turned it all around with nutrition, movement, and mindset. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. And when it does, it changes everything. Your relationships, your confidence, your sleep, your ability to enjoy life. Daily walking, even just 20 to 30 minutes, boosts blood flow, lowers stress, improves insulin sensitivity, and increases testosterone. It doesn't have to be complicated. Walk after meals. Stretch in the morning. Add in some light bodyweight exercises like squats, wall push-ups, or leg raises. Movement keeps your vascular system active, and it helps shuttle nutrients to the places that need repair and restoration. Also, think about sleep. Poor sleep lowers testosterone, raises stress hormones, and reduces nitric oxide production. So if you're serious about restoring performance, get serious about rest. Aim for 7 to 8 hours, limit screens before bed, and try magnesium-rich foods like almonds or spinach in the evening to help your body wind down naturally. And here's something I tell all my patients. Track your progress, not just in terms of performance, but in how you feel. Is your energy better in the morning? Are your cravings changing? Is your mood more stable? These are signs your body is responding. You're not chasing a one-night miracle. You're building a foundation that lasts. If you ever feel discouraged, remember this. Your body wants to heal. It wants to perform, but it needs the right tools. And food is one of the most powerful tools you have. Not a pill, not a gimmick, real nourishment that communicates with your cells, your blood vessels, your hormones, your brain. So take what you've learned here today and start small if you need to. Swap out that processed breakfast for something whole. Add a beet or a banana to your lunch. Use olive oil instead of margarine. Throw a handful of spinach into your dinner. Then build from there. It's not too late, and you're not too far gone. I've seen men in their late 60s, 70s, even early 80s regain a level of vitality they thought was long behind them. And it started with food, movement, and mindset. You're capable of more than you think. And the changes you make today will ripple into every area of your life tomorrow. So, to wrap this up, if you're over 60 and struggling with blood flow, low energy, poor performance, or a lack of drive, start with your plate. Choose foods that nourish your circulation, support your hormones, and reduce inflammation. Choose hydration. Choose movement. Choose rest. And above all, choose consistency. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming strength, clarity, and confidence in your own skin right now, in this chapter of life. And that's not only possible, it's within reach, starting with your very next meal. Dr. Sophia Jain, signing off. I'll see you in the next one.